Hello and welcome to Interactive Distractions, episode number 524. My name is Chris Fricchio, and I am here with Jeff Chorney,
What up?
and that's it. Just me and Jeff today. Um,
Two-man show.
yep. Jason needed a week off, and we are more than
No,
happy
he
to
did, he
provide.
has he
So
didn't need a week off. His computer kind of crapped out on him, didn't it?
that too, but I think he also just said, "I just need a week off." I'm like,
Oh.
"All right, cool." it
He
was,
just
it
had
was,
a week off.
it was both of those things. So, but yeah, we don't have. We're not going to do a very long show today. It's just going to be distractions. We got a couple of new games to talk about. But Jeff, what's up, man? Anything going on for you?
No, not much of anything. Was gonna go see Superman today, but Tanya's a little bit sick, so we're gonna see how she's feeling tomorrow, and then might check it out tomorrow instead. I've heard a lot of good things, and I'm not really a big Superman person, but a good movie is a good movie, and I heard it's a good movie. So
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I've always been kind of met on Superman. I've always thought that he's way too powerful. Um,
mm,
but if it's a good movie, it's a good movie, right? So,
exactly. That's it.
um,
This week's been pretty slow. Nothing
cool.
exciting's happening.
Yeah, not a ton over here. The one big thing for me right now is that tomorrow. So I talk about D&D from time to time. The fact that we play on Sundays. Well, we finished up that campaign, and tomorrow, um, I'm going to be DMing one. It's not going to be very long. It's going to be like 5 or 10 sessions, but there were like two or three people, and I think it was like uh, Sass Bob, and then one other person that plays with us. They were like, "I want Chris to run something." I'm like, "I have never run something. I think that's a horrible idea." So we're going to see how much of a horrible idea it is. And that starts tomorrow. So we'll find.
All right.
I'll
Well,
let you
good
guys
luck.
know
Don't fuck
next
it up.
week. I'm sure I'll fuck it up. It's fine.
Hey,
Yeah, but
if it's things start going awry, just kill everybody. Isn't that how the DMing works? You just be
pretty
like,
much,
all right.
yeah, pretty much. It's mostly VG Evo folks. So it's Sass Bob, Blue, uh, uh, Taylor, and Sticker Glue, and then one of
Mm,
Sticker Glue's friends who came over from another community that they're a part of, and she plays too. So it should be fun. I've got the at least most of the first session like kind of planned out, so we'll see how it goes.
mm,
But yeah, it's kind of my first forte into actual doing a multi-session, you know, campaign of any type. I've done like one shots here and there, but like actually sitting down and planning out things for 5 to 10 sessions is not something I've done before. And I've never used Roll20 as a DM either, so that's going to be a challenge as well. So that's what we use for, or that's what we're going to use for this. Um, so we'll see how that goes. I'll report back next week with either bad news or average news. I have a few.
average news. Yeah. You're not going to be entering like a DM of the year tournament or anything anytime
Nope,
soon.
no chance, no chance. Um, but yeah, that's
Is
pretty
that a
much it for me.
thing? Does the D&D world have tournaments?
Uh, yes, I want to say yes. I don't know much about them, but I have
Yeah,
a
I'm
feeling they
wondering if there's
do.
like a universally like praised DM and stuff, or like players that are just like, oh no, that's fucking
I
Eugene
I mean,
Grossman. He's like the
there are famous GMs. Yes, I mean you've
oh
heard of
okay.
Critical Role, right? So
I've heard of that name, Critical Role. Yeah.
yeah, Matt Mercer is the DM for Critical Role most of the time, and he is a very famous
Mm,
DM, as well as Brennan from Dropout is also a very well known DM.
I
Um,
don't
so
don't know what that is.
Dropout,
Yeah.
Dropout is kind of what College Humor evolved into.
Oh, okay.
So lots of good stuff on Dropout, I have to say.
Gotcha.
Crystal and I have a subscription to it. We watch several of the things that they put out, but yeah, it should be fun. We'll see.
Very cool.
But let's check some games, man.
Sure.
I know that
Some
you've
new
probably
games.
got the biggest title for this week, so why don't you start?
Yeah, so Donkey Kong, the Switch 2 got their, I guess, second big release
Second big
of the
game.
system. Mario Kart, of course, was their big launch title. And this is Donkey Kong. My history with Donkey Kong isn't a lot. I was never really a fan of the old ass games, even though it was probably one of the first video games I ever played. Was the very first Donkey Kong.
Okay.
I played some countries here and there. They're pretty good, but I've never really got into them. But started to get really good reviews leading up to it, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I have to check it out." So, been messing with that, and so far it's a lot of fun. It's very addicting. Uh, you as Donkey Kong can basically break anything. Everything's destructible, like almost the entire environment, except for like the most basic skeleton structure that's underneath everything. And
Mm.
once you start smashing something, you get gold. And the gold you get is your life. So like every time you die, you lose like 500 gold or something. What else can you use gold for? I think you can trade gold in to buy fossils. Fossils are used to buy like outfits and stuff like that. Um, but because you get gold from just like destroying something, it makes like breaking shit so like cathartic and just so satisfying just to like start smashing through everything. Like you can smash up, down, the left, like and you just keep smashing shit and you just see the counter going up because you're getting all this gold. And then if a bunch of big gold pieces fall and you want to collect them all, you can hit the R button and Donkey Kong slams his hands on the ground and they all collect to you. It's like this game right away has that thing Nintendo's so good with giving you like audio and visual feedback that release dopamine. Everything you do in this is a good. Every button you hit does something. You're like, that was cool, and it just goes the entire time. And it's kind of driving me nuts the gold thing because I'm not a collectible person really, but because that's so satisfying, because this also
You
has like
find yourself breaking everything?
as much as like the very first cave you're in at the beginning of the game, you can smash that entire thing, and it could take a while. And I
Yeah.
was just smashing everything, just trying to get everything down. And if you're one of those people, like in like Metroid Dread, how the map, you'd have to like jump up to get to like the corners to actually like get them out of how they're kind of like great, the map's grayed out,
Yep.
and to get all the way through that, and you just want that shit cleared.
Mhm.
I have a feeling people who need to do that are gonna either love or hate this game because, yeah, it's you're not unlocking the map, it's just clearing it's like Power Wash Simulator, but
You're getting every possible gold piece in the area, is that what you're getting at?
not even that because I don't even know if there's a finite number. I just think just the fact
Mm,
that everything you break, it's like breaking something in Ratchet and Clank, you know how you get, like, the
the
bolts?
bolts, yeah.
It's like that, but now imagine it's just the entire world is destructible. The entire level is destructible, and
So you just gotta break
it's
everything.
exactly, and you don't have to. Like the game doesn't. You're not even
Yes,
supposed
you
to.
do,
Well, I mean,
Jeff. Yes, you do.
yeah,
You have to break everything.
exactly. Yeah, it's like you have to, but you don't have to. And then there's fossils in the levels. That fossils is what you trade into to get you can
Outfits, you
get
said.
different outfits, different fur colors for them.
Are there different characters to get the outfits for? Or is it just
Nah,
mainly Donkey
no.
Kong?
Well, there's you, and then you're Pauline. So the whole story is,
Oh, that's right.
um,
Because you have little baby Pauline, right? Or something like
you
that?
do. She's like a kid. She's a really good singer. You're basically a miner. Donkey Kong's a miner. Not a miner as in a young person. A miner as in like in
Like
the
mine
mines mining
stings,
for
yeah.
shit. Yes. So I mean, Pauline's a miner, I guess. But um, you're you find this rock, and this rock is a talking rock, and it's kind of mumbles stuff or whatever. And then it turns out Pauline was turned into a rock. So you bring her back, and then you end up falling down into the earth because you're in the mine, and then you can't get back up. And these people, these other like monkeys or whatever, they're like, oh, to get to the surface, you got to go down to the core. So you're going down, 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 and down. Is I guess the story of the game. Basically, you and Pauline need to get to the center of the earth so you can get back to the top of the earth somehow. Don't ask me how that works, but that's the way the story's going. I don't know any of the evil characters. I know one of the evil monkeys looks familiar, as well as one of the female evil monkeys, but I couldn't tell you their names. Um, but yeah, so the game is very much like, um,
What's
it's
the
kind of like
objective?
Mario Odyssey. It's what?
Okay, so there's stages.
There are definitely stages.
what is the
So,
objective? That was the
but to me, the objective is to get to the end of the stage. Crazy.
the
Um,
objective is
there
to get back to the top of the earth, it sounds like,
It's well,
right?
to get back to the Earth, but yes, you're going down. Each layer you go down is like a new stage, basically, and all the stage, of course, there's different biomes and there's different types of puzzles you're doing because it's like Mario Odyssey because it's the same team that did Mario Odyssey. So it's kind of like
Nice. Okay.
it's kind of like a big open area
That
with
makes
a
me
bunch
more
of
interested in it, by
goals
the
in it.
way. Yeah,
Yes,
because
yeah,
Mario Odyssey was really good.
yeah. And this is similar. There's a bunch of goals you can do on there that are some of them are optional. Of course, it's going to have its the ones you need to do to finish the level, which they're clearly marked on the map. The other ones are kind of like puzzly in a way. It's like Mario Odyssey. You see something of interest, and you know that there's something to do around here, and you can talk to NPCs, and they'll kind of give you hints or whatever. And when you do those things, you get bananas. And whenever you get a banana, Donkey Kong goes, "Ooh, banana," and it's so addicting because he does it every time. And it does this animation, and it's just like it's awesome every time you get it. So I've been, of course, driving Tanya nuts, being like, "Oh, banana,"
So that's like
and
the stars, right? That kind of like the stars in Odyssey?
exactly.
Okay, okay.
Yes, they're like the stars. You're not gated by them though. They don't have a certain amount. Like you know how Mario Odyssey was like you need to get like a certain amount of stars to get to the next stage. It
Yeah, yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
do
yeah.
that, which I
Okay.
really like. So if I do get tired of a certain area, I can just move forward. There's been boss fights at the end of each one of them, which have been nothing crazy hard, but fun. They're typical like Nintendo boss fights, like stuff like Zelda and like even like Mario Odyssey type stuff. There's nothing too crazy, just kind of like usually some type of mechanic you learn in that world you kind of have to use against the boss. That run of the mill type stuff. Um,
So it's stages, right? So you were and we're talking about you can almost destroy everything in the stage. When you destroy things in the stage and you leave the stage and come back, is everything still destroyed?
I haven't gone back, so I
Okay,
couldn't
okay,
tell you. That I
okay.
don't know. I'm assuming that does come back. But then again, I'm just assuming. I don't know because you can definitely go back up and down to stages you've been to. I just have not done that yet. I've only on the I want to say technically third stage, but technically second because there's like the tutorial area, then there's the first stage, the bigger stage, which and each stage seemed to have like multiple layers. And you can travel between the layers using these like blue eel things will take you down and up and whatever within the one level. And then I got to like this other stage, which seems kind of like it's not really a hub world, but didn't seem like the stage before that. It seemed kind of smaller. And then now I'm in the one after that because there's like no boss battle or anything. I don't think in that one that I remember. Um, but Donkey Kong also gets these special powers. Like right now, he's got like a Bonanza mode where he just gets like his hair turns into um, bananas, and then he becomes super powerful. And he bangs on his chest, and like Pauline starts singing like a song. Well,
Super
it's
Saiyan
pretty
Donkey
cool.
Kong.
Yeah, basically, yeah, and it's good, man. It's a lot of fun. I was kind of skeptical just because again I'm not a big platformer person. There's like two platformers that I can remember that I've liked in the past like I don't know how long, and that's Mario Odyssey and Astrobot. So and
Yep.
this I'm enjoying it so far, and it's got my
Nice.
attention. I'm not once I start playing a level, I want to kind of keep playing it, and I'm going for the extra stuff. Like I'll see something of a point of interest, and I'll go over there and be like, oh, I want to figure out because there's definitely going to be a banana here. Figure out how to get it, and that move I told you where he slaps the ground, that also does like a
Pulls.
sonar thing, so you can see hidden
Oh,
stuff in like
nice. Okay.
walls and stuff. So yeah, the stuff, the collectible types. It won't show you gold necessarily because gold's pretty much anywhere, but stuff like fossils and bananas, or even if there's like a challenge room or something, and there's challenge rooms which are levels within the levels, kind of
God,
like like a mini Astrobat level type thing
this is
within a big
driving me
level.
crazy, man. It sounds right up
Yeah,
my alley. It really does.
it's really good, dude. It's fun.
I honestly, but that's the thing is like I honestly could see myself just running around hitting that like ground pound thing, and so I could sonar
Yeah.
every single time. Every like I'd go to outside the radius, do it again, go outside the radius, do it again.
Yeah, do it
That would be
again, do it
my
again,
yeah.
do it again. Well, it's got a limited range on it, but the bananas, every X amount of bananas you get, like 5, you get a skill point. And
Mm.
then Donkey Kong has a skill tree.
Oh
So you
Jesus
can put
Christ.
stuff into his skill tree. It's like, dude, it's got everything that you look it's like it's the Chris checklist. It's like check,
Mm.
check, check, check.
Yep.
Um
Yep.
it's yeah. It's got good voice, like there is voice for the characters who can voice like the human characters so far, I should say. The
Okay.
human character. Donkey Kong, of course, is grunts and things like that. Um,
And says banana, apparently.
banana. Yeah, it's so good. Oh man, it's a lot of fun. It's been a really good kind of palate cleanser with all the hard shit we've been playing lately, like the more serious tone stuff with like the
Yeah,
Clair
yeah.
Obscure, the Death Strandings, and stuff like that. Um, yeah, I would totally, if
So
you have a Switch 2, I'd 100% recommend it. Like to
so
anyone
so
out
like
there,
3D perspective, like is it third person, like isometric above?
it's
Like how's
third
it work?
person.
It is third
It's
person?
third
Okay.
person, but then it does what, like I did a level that was pure Donkey Kong Country side scrolling.
Side scrolling. Yeah. So
Yeah, and you
it's
have
very
all this.
much
Yeah,
Mario Odyssey when it comes to like stage design. They kind of mix it
yeah.
up. Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't be
God
surprised if there's
God damn
vehicles in
it.
it down the line and stuff, and
Fuck you, Jeff,
yeah.
man. God.
This is the game that, like, I kinda wish this was the pack-in game or, like, the launch game for it. Not that it makes a difference, it's only a month difference, really, um, but this is the game that I think was like, "Okay, this game would 100% not be possible the way it is on a regular Switch," and apparently it started out development on the original Switch.
Hmm.
And I've seen there's screenshots and stuff of what, and it looks vastly different in terms of like detail and everything, which makes sense. Um, but it does run for the most part at 60 frames. There
That's good.
is drops though. But a game like this with this much destructibility, I think that's kind of par for the course because I can't think of a single game that has a lot of destructibility that doesn't have frame drops when shit gets especially hairy. And this has the most destructibility I think I've ever seen. You can just anything in the world except for specific things, you can't destroy um, with your fists. But then you can bring out this type of material that explodes, and you can throw that at shit and make shit explode. It's dude, it's fun. It's yeah. I feel like I'm forgetting something that I meant to talk about. That's like, but it's not coming to me right now. But if I remember, I'll say something. But
Yeah, well, we can come back to it for sure.
yeah, and it's definitely not
It's
something I'm going to be putting down anytime soon.
it sounds like something I'm gonna want to play. I just gotta get. I'm gonna have to wait until it. I don't want to give Nintendo money. I'm really pissed about this whole thing.
Well, yeah, you
So
have to one way or the other because you're not going to get it on unless you get it like secondhand or something. Well,
yeah,
this is regular price too. It's not the same price as Mario Kart.
oh, the what,
It's
60,
the
70?
new regular price. I shouldn't say
So 70.
it's $70. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Is the game on the cart or
It is
is
on
it
the cart. Yeah.
okay? Okay.
Yeah, all Nintendo games will be, and that's. Well, I know we're not doing news today because there isn't much, but I apparently Nintendo is doing like a survey in Japan about how people feel about the carts, because it's clearly they need to add in a second tier. They can't just do the 0 and the 60 or the no
Yeah.
memory and the 65 gig because when you can buy the game you're going to talk about later, you can buy that on Switch 2 or Switch. The Switch 2 one is oh no, they don't even have a Switch 2 version, but
No.
they released a Switch version, but you get the upgrade for free on Switch. And the reason a lot of, I guess, the other publishers aren't doing that because they're just like, well, we don't want to put our entire new game on a 65 gigger. So we're just releasing it on the Switch. And I don't think Nintendo wants that. I think they want more of the red boxes on the shelves because I think that doesn't look good, really. It's like
Yeah. For
it's
sure.
going to confuse people.
Yeah.
So I think
Mhm.
they have to do something. They have to add like at least a 15 gig one or something like
They need
that
to suck
gives
it
you
up. Like
smaller games. Yeah,
you just gave permission for everyone to increase prices up another
yeah,
$10. Like
yeah,
suck it up and take and take your medicine, dude. Like
yeah,
make the carts that the developers need you to make, right?
yeah.
It's like
Exactly.
it shouldn't even be stuck at 64. Like you should be able to make ones bigger if you need to make them bigger. Like that
Yeah,
shouldn't be a problem.
or
Um
smaller is the issue. Yeah, they
yeah,
want to make
smaller is the
smaller ones.
issue, but
Yeah.
what I'm getting at is like it shouldn't just be about making smaller ones. If
Mhm.
there's games that are bigger that need more space, you should be making bigger ones. Like that's
100%. I
yeah,
think I think they'll crack eventually because I think a lot of the third party publishers are going to be like, well, then we're just not going to release anything with the red case, and everything's going to
yeah,
have the Switch One case, and they're not going to
yeah,
want that. And that might sound dumb and like petty, but that in terms of marketing and stuff like that, that's a huge deal.
yeah.
Um, Differentiating the different cases, so for the general public. But anyway, Donkey Kong is fantastic, and so far, like I would say that's worth the price of admission, 100%. Whereas like with
Wow.
Mario Kart,
Okay.
I like Mario Kart, but
Oh,
I'm
price of
not as
admission
good
for
as
the
8.
game, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, not
Not
necessarily
price submission
with
like
the
go
price
buy a
system.
Switch, go buy
Yeah.
this. Yeah. Well,
Okay.
I think the Switch is a great handheld. Like it's for what you get, it's
Honestly,
pretty good.
the
Yeah.
amount of upscaling that they've done for some of the Switch 1 games, that makes it
Mhm.
easier to swallow for Switch 2.
Yeah.
Like being able to knowing that I'll be able to go play Tears of the Kingdom at a better frame rate and things like that. Like that's all those are all good things that I think make the price of entry a little bit more easy to swallow. It's I'm just upset about the price of the games, and it's going to be
Yeah,
a
the games is
while until I
that's
get
the
past that.
big hurdle. Yeah. The hardware itself, I think it's worth it. I mean, especially when you see the comparisons what Steam Deck does and stuff, and Switch 2 comes out on top a lot in a lot of the times cases, it's like I get it. Like it's they can't sell that thing for $300. Like it's or 200. I don't even know how much it is there. I know here prices here are different, so I think
Yeah,
here it's like
it's
600, 400,
Switch.
500,
What are we
600.
talking about? You talking about Steam Deck? Or you
Switch
talking about
2.
Switch 2? Switch
Switch
Two's
2 is how much there?
450 here.
And how much is the Steam Deck? 450 or like
Uh,
399?
360.
Mm.
I can look real quick. Let's see. Steam Deck. Oh, it's right there. I know they're working on a new one.
Yeah,
400.
the new one probably won't be that price. And the Steam Deck
So,
does have the OLED, which that is the one thing that everyone says, well, that's obviously better because an OLED screen is going to be better
well,
than
no,
than
400 is for
LCD.
the LCD. 400 is for the LCD.
Oh, gotcha.
The OLED is the two higher end models are the OLED. One and they so the $400 one, and they don't have the base unit. The one that I got, they don't have it anymore because I got that one
Mhm.
for it was three something. It was like low 300s, but it's only
Yeah.
like 64 gigs, right?
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
not a ton of space. It's essentially like this is for the operating system, and that's it. And you just use an SD card for everything.
Yeah.
Um, so the lowest one that they have right now is 256. The first OLED is 550, and it's 512, and then
Gotcha.
the high end one is a terabyte, and it's 650.
Yeah.
So yeah, and like there's definitely a lot of comparisons between Steam Deck and Switch 2, and I think rightfully so. I think in a lot of cases, what you're going to see is um, on games that are coming out for Switch 2 specifically,
Mhm.
in comparison to something like the Steam Deck, those games are optimized for Steam
Oh,
for Switch 2. So
100%. Yeah.
like right like for like Cyberpunk is a good example. Like Cyberpunk
Mhm.
is going to run better on it's most likely going to run better on the Switch 2 than it does on the Steam Deck. But that's
Yeah.
because the Steam Deck is it's just a PC, right? It's like
That's scaled it, yeah.
there's no optimization for Steam Deck. Like they verify that it works and make sure that it works, but
And
they
then they
don't.
give it the check mark and say
Yeah,
go.
and they
Yeah.
give it the check mark, but they don't require any optimization or anything like that. You're still just playing a PC
No.
game.
Yeah.
So
And the games that don't have optimization on the Switch too, those are the ones that will have some issues and stuff.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
and apparently DSSR that does a lot of the heavy lifting on Switch too as well, which
Oh
is
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. DSSR
yeah.
is pretty amazing to me.
We talked about the Switch too like to death already in terms
Yeah.
of the console, but yes, the game I think it's worth it, especially because all games now are $70.
Yeah.
So Donkey Kong so far seems like it's going to be one of those games we're going to be talking about at the end of the year for sure. Not even just us. I think the industry in general will be talking about it. So
Nice.
I think
Okay.
it's yeah. Whereas Mario Kart, I don't think that's really worth the hundred and well here it's 100 and something bucks if you were to buy
Yeah.
it physically or digitally. But yeah, that's it for Donkey Kong until next week. Yeah, I'm not gonna be putting it down anytime soon. Probably put more time
Nice.
into it because I was playing a little bit more of something else. We'll get to in a bit. Well, Death Stranding 2. We'll talk about that later.
Okay. Yeah. I play something new
What's
this
on
week
your
too.
new? Yeah.
So I picked up Shadow Labyrinth. That's literally the reason we're recording on Saturday instead of Friday because it came out on
Yep.
Friday. Um, and of course, Best Buy fucked me over anyway. So like
Uh,
the game didn't show up till today anyway. So I ended up buying it
yeah.
digitally so I could start playing it yesterday.
Sorry, I probably asked you this before. Why don't you just go pick it up?
Uh, Honestly, I don't think it would have helped me in this case because I actually went and looked. I was going to buy it from the store and then just return in the shipped one, and they
Yeah.
didn't have any in stock. And
Don't you have the ability when you pre-order to pick it up in store?
Sometimes, and that's the thing. It's like that's kind of
Oh,
what
so because you've been screwed with that too, right?
yeah, I've been screwed with that
Yeah.
too. Like the big one for me was completely lost my Yars Rising.
Yeah.
I pre-ordered that for pickup, never got confirmation that it was there, and then went and said, "Hey, is the game here?" And it's like, "Nope, it's not here yet. When's it coming?" We don't know. I'm like, "All right, just give me a refund." And I ended up just buying it on, digitally. So I now have already double dipped on Shadow Labyrinth because I have it digitally and I have it physically. Um,
Yeah.
but we'll talk about that a little bit more in a few minutes. But I did pick it up. I started playing it. I'm still figuring out how I feel about this game.
Mhm.
I have to say that I love the concept of the game. When the game is fun, it's definitely fun. Like it's definitely a Metroidvania. You're exploring the map. You're looking for like little hidden paths. You're trying to find bosses to fight. Trying to expand like your arsenal and power up your character. Like you immediately get this they call it the ESP sword, and you can't really use it at first, but there's like this mechanical arm that your character is trying to remember. Is it something eight? Um, uh, uh, but so you've got Puck following you around, and Puck is looks like Pac-Man,
Yeah.
and he calls him like I can't remember what it is, but it's number eight, something eight, and he tries to grab the sword, and this is like at the very beginning, and he can't, and then he gets this like arm attachment, and then he can like push through the shielding and pull the sword out, and this is the ESP sword. So you've got an ESP bar, and the ESP bar is used for things like dodging and special moves, which there are multiple special moves that you can collect. So far, I only have one,
Mhm.
but it's a basic. There's like combat is very basic. You can attack three times and chain into a combo. Once you get your first special move, you can attack three times and then hit the special. And the
Mhm.
special also eats from your ESP energy, but it'll give you that four hits, and that last hit's going to hit really hard. You can swing your sword up as well, up and down if you're jumping, especially. And it's that feels pretty good. The jumping's a little weird. I don't know if it's the jumping or just the way they do inertia.
Mhm.
Because it feels like when you fall off like a cliff, it feels like if you're just running and you try and stop running, there's too much inertia when you leave the cliff. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but you're definitely falling on the x-axis much faster than you expect it to.
Oh, okay,
So,
gotcha.
it takes a little getting used to in that respect. Um, you do get to turn into Pac-Man, which is kind of cool.
Nice. Uh-huh.
So there
You
are
get to eat
different.
fruit?
You get to eat little pellets.
Okay.
And so there are different. There's parts of the stages that look like almost look like Pac-Man maze track. And if you jump into it, you automatically turn into like you basically you and Puck like join. And you're
Mhm.
now controlling Puck, and it feels just like you're on Pac-Man. You're just kind of running around, but Pac-Man can jump, he can attack. If you attack as Pac-Man, it's he like the sword comes out and he's fucking spinning like he's
Ah, that's
wrecking
awesome.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's you're jumping from track to track to get around the stages. So that all feels really good. I really like that. um there's definitely a few things that take a bit of getting used to. The first one of the first things that is that like I have not found anything to increase my health pool yet. So you get
Is that a
four.
problem? Is it hard?
uh, it's not super hard, but like it's definitely a pattern boss type game. So you're going to go into bosses, and some of them you'll be able to beat right away, but many of them you'll be like figuring out the pattern. You're going to die, and then you're going to go back and you're going to try again. You only get like four blocks of life, and most things take a whole block.
Mm.
There's a few things that take less, and there's several that take more, but you get the idea.
Okay.
You also get like HP pool, like HP kind of like energy
Like a
tanks, but they're not
flask?
automatic. But it works like a flask, exactly. So you get your first one right out of the gate, right? And they refill whenever you get to an upgrade point. So there's two different kinds of save points. There's an upgrade point and there's a checkpoint. So you don't always get them refilled because you have to be at an upgrade point. If you just hit a checkpoint, it refills your health, but it doesn't refill your HP tanks.
Mm.
So it's like you have a bonfire, like to put it in, like you're talking about flasks,
Yeah.
you have a
Yeah.
bonfire and then you have like uh, a mini bonfire or like a couple of sticks, it's like
Yeah.
a fire,
Yeah.
a campfire. So bonfire, you get shit back. Campfire, you don't.
I
That's
do
kind of
not.
the way it ends up. And that can be frustrating because if you're near a boss and there's not an upgrade point around and you've used your flasks already, or if you used your HP tanks already, now you're trying to fight that boss with just those 4 bars of life. So that's been a bit of a frustration a couple of times.
Yeah.
It's required me a few extra lives to figure out what the pattern is, right, and try and figure out how to get through everything. The dodge is very powerful. Like you have a dodge. The dodge uses ESP, uses that energy. So you have to be careful with it because if you run out, you're not going to get to dodge anymore. But the dodge is extremely powerful. Like if an enemy is running at you, you can literally dodge right through him. That's how that's how good the dodge is. Um, but yeah, so that's one of the things that's kind of getting me. Another thing I'm not a huge fan of is the way they handle defeated enemies. So there are two reasons that defeated enemies are important. The first one is because wherever their body lands, that's where your currency pops up, and they're like
Okay. Yeah.
basically the little pellets that Pac-Man eats. They're kind of similar. So and then obviously their body is there as well, and that matters because once you get to pretty early on in the story, um, like the Mecha Pac-Man that you've probably seen in some of the
I've
trailers.
seen trailers,
Yeah,
yeah.
like he can grab the body and consume it and gain like materials for it. I don't know what they're for yet. I haven't gotten that far. I'm only
Okay.
about 3 hours in,
So
but
another resource, basically.
essentially another resource pool, right? And different enemies provide different resources. Well, when you kill an enemy, it's very possible they just go flying and you can't get to them
And you
anymore.
lose it.
And you lose all the
Yeah.
resources. And that's super frustrating. And one of the things that I've seen a few times is you kill an enemy, he hits the ground, the pellets come up, and then they just continue to slide down the fucking stage. And
Ha!
I'm like running after them, and they just oh no, not worth it anymore. Forget it. So there's been a couple of those too. It's like it feels a little weird with that. The the only other thing that I think is unusual is that I've seen like the way the balance is with the enemies. There's a few things that they do that I don't think is right. Like there's flying enemies, right? And these flying enemies, some of them take 2 hits, right?
Mhm.
But they can also charge at you, and they come at you fast enough that you can't get 2 hits out before you get
Before they
hit
hit
by them.
you.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you'll get 1 hit and then you can't get the second hit out. And
So
because
you
they're
have to
just
take it.
you have to take it. Because they're just damage sponges and nothing flinches, you
Mhm.
get 1 hit and they're still charging and they're gonna get you before your second hit comes out. So you have to be real careful about things, especially with the flying enemies. Um,
Hmm.
and then there's been like I've seen a couple of times where there's enemies that normally take 1 hit, and for some reason out of nowhere it'll take two when I'm expecting it to only take one, and then I end up getting hit because I thought it was only going to take one. So it's got a few quirks to it. Like I'm reserving judgment. It's not like it's certainly not a phenomenal Metroidvania experience, But it's a competent game so far, and I'm certainly interested to see where it's going to go. I want to
Yeah.
do more of the Pac-Man stuff, and I know some of the stages are going to be very Namco themed. I've seen a few. They've given a few. Not, I don't know if they're spoilers, so I'm not going to talk about them. But they've talked about how they've pulled in like other Namco properties
If
to
they've
kind
talked
of
about it
make,
publicly, I wouldn't
yeah.
call it a spoiler.
The one that I think everybody knows about is Dig Dug. Like there's a stage
Yeah.
where there's a bunch of enemies and stuff that look like Dig Dug. Um, and I'm really interested to see how all that stuff works. I want to get into that stuff. And it's it is hard to get around creepy Pac-Man because like he talks about his ship that crashed, and you're finding parts for this ship, and so far I found two of them, and each one turns into essentially a boss that you have to fight, and he calls it a G host or a ghost, right?
Okay.
So the but
See
when you
what they did there.
yeah, but when you defeat them, that's where that crazy, look that they show off, where Puck goes into the swordsman's back,
And
and
becomes like a
like the big shadow
beast.
thing comes out of his mouth. Yeah, that's weird. I want to see more of where that's going. Like I want to know what
Mhm.
that's all about. But yeah, from a gameplay perspective, it's definitely got a few quirks that you're going to have to deal with and work around. But like the gameplay itself is really creative. And I'm really hoping that I start getting uh, uh, some of the upgrades that are going to open up the map for me, because there's already places in the map that I need to go back to for items and stuff like that. So, yeah, I
And
guess
hopefully you
more.
get to power up your sword and shit, so those flying things are like
You
one
do.
hit.
You do,
Okay.
yeah. So one of the things, so at the upgrade point, the first two things that you get the opportunity to upgrade are your attack power and your max ESP level. So my attack power at this point is like level 4. So I've updated it 3 times already. And I think my
Gotcha.
ESP power is like level 3. But those are the only two things that I've been able to upgrade so far. And now that my attack power is at level 4, it requires more than just the currency, the pellets. So now it's like there are other items that I have to find in order to upgrade further.
Oh, I
So we'll
see.
see.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's so
I'm
far,
looking
it's a
forward to hearing more.
yeah,
I
it's
almost got him like I have too much stuff right now, and I want to
yeah,
wait until
yeah,
I
it's
load a
hard.
bit. If someone
I
were to want to get this game though, Chris, where could they go to get it?
Well, I mean, it's online anywhere, but you could also come by our Discord and sign up for a contest, because we're going to be giving away a copy of it, and we're going to do that on next week's show. So if you're interested in trying out Shadow Labyrinth, um, come by our Discord. The link will be in the description, and it will also be on our Linktree. And there will be there's a channel on there that's called Shadow Labyrinth Giveaway, and just go in there and put in the line that I put in there, and it's I waka waka wanna explore the labyrinth. Um, that was my horrible trope, but you know what?
Oh, that's
I'll
good.
take
The
it. I'll
cheesier
take
the
it.
better, man.
The cheesier the better. But yeah, come by and then chat with us a little bit and about games, and we'd love to have you as a part of the community.
For
Um,
sure.
but yeah, hopefully whoever wins wants the PS5 version, and I can just.
Oh, you just get the one because you have two versions. Yeah.
But if not, I'm okay with having 2 copies. That's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Um, cool. Let's see. What else we got?
Death Stranding 2. I thought I
Hmm.
was going to finish it before recording tonight.
Oh,
I should have known better. It's a Kojima game. When you think it's going to be the ending, it's not the ending.
nope. How many times does the
Um,
credits roll in the first game?
oh, yeah, man. Yeah, seriously. I haven't seen credits yet. That should have been my first telling thing. Is like, yeah, no, I'm not. I got to be somewhere close. I'm definitely coming in on the end. Some reveals happened and twists and stuff, and I was like, after what I thought was going to be like the ending or whatever, and then I was like, oh, okay, and like I see, okay, okay. I don't know. I can't have that much left. I don't think, because I think I'm at 50 something hours at this point, and I'm not after the first couple areas, I kind of stopped doing all of the side stuff just because I was just wanted to push the story forward because I was kind of
Mm.
getting that fatigue kind of.
Yeah, yeah, I
Um,
get that for sure.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, let's move it forward here, and it's definitely it's backloaded like most of his games are in terms of like story stuff, but it starts to get really, really Kojima, and I like it.
Yeah.
Uh, towards some a lot of cool stuff happens, some cool cutscenes, and some set pieces and stuff. So yeah, I'm really liking it. I think it'll definitely be on my top 10 when we do our game of the year stuff for sure. Where it's going to be at this point, I would say I can't see it being any higher than fourth. Um,
Interesting. Okay.
yeah, there's three I have now, and depending on how I settle with Donkey Kong, that's why I'm saying it's I think it's going to be mid, probably mid 10 or mid 10, somewhere between. I don't know. Let's throw a number out there. So I would say somewhere between high as four, unless something drastic changes, and that this isn't final by any means, and maybe as low as like seven. But who knows, right? But and it might end up being number one. Who knows? Like I said, I still have a way. I still have a little bit to go. I don't know how
You
much
still
more
got
I
to
have
see
to
the
go.
ending.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm not usually one to be like that ending was amazing. That gives it like that's definitely my game of the year.
Hmm.
Um, it's the journey, not the destination, so to speak. As
Especially
cliche
for
as
Death
that is.
Stranding. Yeah.
Yeah, literally, yeah,
Especially for
for
Death
sure.
Stranding.
But but yeah,
um,
so I'm almost done it. I'm liking it. You just beat the first one, right?
I did. I beat the first one literally the night we recorded. I finished the
Oh,
game
that's
right
right.
after we
Yeah.
were done. Because oh God, what did I say? There were 14 episodes or something like that. And like
Yes.
it
Yeah.
that game, man, like Kojima, he does things, man. Like because the credits roll at episode 13, and I'm like, I know there's more shit. Like, what's going on here? But yeah, I'll be honest with you. Shortly after I finished the game, it was one of those things where I was like, all right, now I need to go find an explanation for what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, I did the same
And
thing.
I got most of it, but I still had like the whole idea of what the Death Stranding was and how it happened didn't it wasn't clear for me. And part of that is probably my fault because after the first like I don't know 10 or 12 emails that they send, I started not reading them.
Yep.
It was too much. Like they're sending you like 3 pages of information. It's like I'm trying to deliver shit, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So but yeah, it was a great game. I really enjoyed it. I think that one of the things we talked about last week was it might be in my best interest to jump into Death Stranding earlier than rather than later.
Yeah.
And I think depending on what's coming out, once I get through Shadow Labyrinth and the other game that I started, that we'll talk about in a minute, once I get
Mhm.
through those two, I think if there's nothing else before that's like on my radar right away, I'll probably jump
Then you'll
into
do
Death
it.
Stranding too. Yeah,
Yeah, makes sense.
um, at least so I could
Probably
take
smart.
advantage to some of the structures
Yeah,
that have been
a
put
lot
there
of
by
people are
other
playing it
players.
now, so yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and
You'll
that's the
definitely have
thing
to
is
build
like
some stuff, but
from
not as
your
much as one.
perspective in one and or two, did
Mhm.
you ever have a situation where a road was completed?
No.
Okay, okay.
Not 100% completed, no, even in 2. I I am not sure if I've had stuff completed that I started, but
Hmm.
nothing I've never got to a like, when I've made a connection or connected an area, a road was just there and went to the previous destination or something like that. Like, I've always had to do something, and I found, at least in my game, that I've had to build probably half of the roads, and I would wanna say, like, half of the, monorails too, which is makes me wonder if I'm just not doing enough side stuff to get those connections, 'cause it's I think it was Eddie was saying in our Discord that the higher stars you get the stars up or whatever, like, basically level up at places, you get to see more of other people's stuff, but I feel like especially at the beginning of the game, I did a lot of that,
Mm.
and a lot of stuff but other stuff structures have been they're everywhere. So, maybe it's specifically the roads and that type of stuff you have to do that for, but, I think I was saying a couple episodes ago that there's so much stuff that's already there. I haven't had to do stuff, but that's mostly stuff that's like some zip lines have already been there, but I have to do some zip lines, like the launching. Did you ever use the launching cannons, like from
The ones where you can put
the
cargo in
yeah,
and fire. Yes, those things are
yeah,
awesome.
Well, you can put yourself in 2, so you can
Oh,
fire yourself
nice.
out of
Fire
them.
yourself out of the cannon one? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, and those have
What
been in,
was
like, really good spots,
what was
that
that
people have
dude's
put.
name? Evil Knievel or something like that? Shot
Oh,
himself out
Evil
of the
Knievel.
cannon all the
Yeah,
time? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Or wait, was he
yeah.
the motorcycle guy? Maybe he did
He's
both.
the
I don't remember.
motorcycle guy, but yeah, Super Dave Osborne used to do that, but it was fake, but I
Oh,
don't know
oh, well, that's okay. I didn't know that.
well, Super Dave Osborne was the jokey fake stunt guy. He had, like, a talk show, like,
Okay.
back in the day. Like, you and I are the age we'd probably remember that shit, but other people are like, "Who the fuck is Super Dave Osborne?" Look him up, kids. Look him up on the YouTube. He was funny.
That's right.
His stunts would always go horribly wrong, and it was so obvious it was like a mannequin or whatever, but it was just really funny. Um, but yeah, no, I did find I found toward like the game. It got me a good decent amount of stuff to build. There was just a pockets of time where I didn't have to build fucking jack shit, or I had to build too much.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that exactly is connected to. Eddie says it's to do with your levels, the more connections you get with all the sections of the continent will determine how much stuff you see. And maybe roads and monorails are the things that are higher on the list in terms of you have to build up higher to see more of that. But why have you did you see anything that was completely done? I'm gonna guess no.
Not a road, no, no.
Yeah.
The so I'm not sure if you remember how much you remember about the first one, but like the first one, there's Lake Knot City. When you get to the main like section of the game, right? There's Lake Knot City, and you have to go all the way down to South Knot, right?
Hmm.
The I got the roads that I helped put together went all the way. I'm trying to remember what the landmark was where it landed. Um, but there's a point where it goes south and then it crosses over the river and continues south. And it's near the weather station, I think, the weather main. I can't remember where it was, but it went pretty far, but it didn't make it all the way down to South Knot. Um,
Yeah.
so and then one of the things that I did like is like then you go over to when you may travel over to Mountain Knot that you can build roads to go over the mountain back to where you were. So I put together at least 4 pieces of that road, and I did notice that someone that whose stuff was showing up in my game had
Mhm.
done the piece of road that covers the peak that goes across
Oh,
the peak of
nice.
the mountain.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I was able to connect all the way to that. But after I got over that, then I had like the rocky terrain that was on the other side of the mountain. So um,
Yeah.
no, it's really interesting how they have all that stuff going and how they all make it work. But it's so fast. So you run out of resources so fast because you
Yeah.
can you
You
can get
do.
like you can probably fill with the resources you get at each city or each point. You can
Point.
probably get one road done, like one part of
Hmm.
the road, and that's it. Like it just doesn't have enough resources to do anything else. So it's definitely something you have to team up with other players to do.
Or you just gotta
And
wait till it re. I'm not sure how the resources respawn in the terminals, the
I think
facilities.
when you star up, it gives you additional resources when you star
Oh,
up.
so that's finite? Oh, I didn't realize it was finite. That
I'm
and that
I'm
unless
not
you
I'm
put
not
them
sure.
there. Yeah, unless you take them
I'll
from somewhere else and put them
I'll
there.
let Eddie correct us, but
Yeah.
I do know
It's
that
still
when you
kinda
star up,
confusing.
yeah, when you
Yeah.
star up, you get additional resources. It increases your max value and it gives you additional
Yeah.
resources at the same time. So
Gotcha, okay. Yeah, I was kinda bummed because like, it does like, there are times in the game, in the first one and the second time, where they purposely make you trek some of the farthest
yeah,
distances, and because I started pushing the main story and I was like, okay, well, I got to a point where it was like, you need to travel all the way back here. I'm like, well, it's been so long, hopefully there's going to be all the roads are going to be done and like monorails or whatever. And when I brought up the map and then saw, I was like, oh my god, there's still like a big chunk that I was like, no, I have to do it I want to say the old fashioned way, but they still give you a lot of ways. Um, you get essentially like a kind of like it's hoverboard in this. It's in it's in the trailers and stuff, but you basically it's like a coffin that it's a hoverboard. You're basically on a hoverboard. It's so
okay.
good. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So you can still get away, get to things a lot quicker. But I wanted to like get on some new roads, and you can zip line on the monorail and stuff. Like this will be a nice throw on some music, listen to some churches as I'm going around. But I was like, oh man, okay, no, I got to actually do some stuff here. And I was kind of bummed. Like I was just seeing sections, and I'm like, no one fucking did that. I'm like, I did up to here, and no one fucking filled that in yet.
Yeah. And
That
that's
would have been so
disheartening
helpful.
too.
Yeah,
It's just as disheartening as seeing like connecting a chain of zip lines and not getting any likes, like we talked about
yeah,
last
yeah,
week,
yeah.
right?
And
It's a similar feeling. It's like I
yeah,
built all of this so you
and no
guys
one
can add
finished it.
on to it, and no one adds on to it,
And
right?
that's
So
what I wanna know, like, is it a me problem? Is it because I didn't level
yeah,
up a certain thing to a certain level, so it's not giving me, like, that? Because I know you can, because Travis was even saying in the Discord, you can build up your connection level, your social links with other players in the game, and if you build like, I know you can go to a menu and you can, like, click on their name and
you
like their
can
stuff, whatever.
request. Yeah, you can request specific things too, and I
Oh, you
never
could
did
do
any of
that,
that.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. But I don't know how, like, honestly, I don't know how that part works. If it's a me problem, then that's a me problem, but the game doesn't really, like, I felt like I felt like I've done more in terms of the roads and that type of stuff with the infrastructure, and I'm like, I just never got, the same love back, Chris, and I just yeah. I still got to
I
my destination, but
One of the things I'm wondering now that I think about it is I'm wondering if you were to if you request, "Hey, put this here," right? So let's say you build a piece of a road and then
oh, and
you
then I say,
request
yeah,
that someone help build the next piece. If the game knows to enough
and
to
it kicks it
say,
to somebody.
"Okay, if someone the next person that makes that road, we're gonna pull it into your game," if it does something like that,
Oh,
because
that's actually a good
that
idea,
would be pretty
yeah.
cool. That would be pretty cool.
And that would make sense. I mean, there's so many mechanics in these games I don't ever use. Like uh, it's got that issue. I was talking to a buddy of mine about this. Kojima, he did this with Metal Gear 5 as well. He gives you so many tools that you don't have to use, or that there's other things that do the same thing, so you never really use them. And there's so much of that in Death Stranding 1 and 2. Like the sign stuff I never used ever,
Oh, I
like
did.
at
I
all.
used the signs a lot
Yeah,
because I
you
felt
use the
like
speed
the
stuff and stuff
signs were
like
the only
that.
things that seemed to not deteriorate. So it's like
Yeah.
they never went away. It's like you could always get it. Like it was like they were always there for people to get likes, and as long as
Yeah,
they passed through it, it's like one of
you
those
get
things that
yeah,
is like you get a like out of it. So if you just happen to have it in their path and they just happen to go through it, then you get something out of it. So
for sure.
yeah, highly suggest the
It's fun.
signage. The signage is good.
Nice. We'll see. I
Um,
should have it definitely. I wanna finish it tomorrow, so I should finish it up by tomorrow.
nice, good
So
deal.
you're gonna give it some time. There was one more thing I can't remember, but yeah, that's Stranding. Good shit. I'm glad you played it though. That first time I played it was very. That's the only thing is like I think it's gonna have that kind of like a lot of people who play the first one and the second one. It's gonna be interesting to see how many people like the second one more, the first one more, when all the dust settles. Because I think one definitely has that aha moment, and then two is just like a better version of that, but you're missing the struggle. The struggle isn't really there in two, and I think that's part of the reason why one resonated so much with me. Anyway, is you go through that struggle at the beginning where
Yeah.
you got to use your ladders, you got to use your anchors, you got to use all
Yeah.
those basic things, and then you hardly, if you don't want to, you hardly have to use those in the
Oh
second one.
man,
Yeah.
the disappointment that I feel when I try and put down a ladder and it's not long enough to get to where I want to
Oh
go.
yeah. Yep.
What is
You can
like?
connect ladders in two, which is helpful.
Oh, that's
I
nice.
don't
Yeah,
think you can
that's
do that
cool.
in the first one. Yeah. Yeah. But it's
Yeah,
really good. I'm really enjoying it.
good stuff. Yeah, I'll certainly play the second one for sure. Like the honestly, the beginning of the year, if you would have told me that Death Stranding 2 was going to be on my radar, I would have said,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I
It's
would have
definitely on my
laughed as well.
it's definitely on my radar now. So, um, good stuff. Anything else on your plate?
No, that's basically been it for me.
Okay, I got a couple of more things that I'll touch on just a little bit. First thing is, and we talked about this last week a little bit because I unboxed the game, but the Soul Reaver
Yep.
collection. Started playing a little bit of that, not too much, just the first couple of hours. Um, Definitely feels weird because it's, it was a
Old.
PS1 game, and yeah,
Yeah.
and they changed it over to modern controls. And whenever they move things over to modern controls, there's just something a little weird about it, and it's like the camera is either a little overly sensitive here, or it doesn't fit well here, that kind of thing. Definitely feel some of that. But one of the cool things that I love when games do this, because the Soul Reaver collection has the instant flip from classic
Yes.
fidelity to current fidelity.
Yeah.
And Soul Reaver's not a looker by any means, but it
No.
certainly looks pretty damn good compared to what it was on
Yep.
PS1.
Yeah.
So it's just a kind of a reminder that those PS1 games, they didn't age very well. It's like
Oh,
it was that
you can
first
count the
generation of,
polygons
yeah,
almost.
exactly. It's that first generation of polygons, and it did not they did not age very well. But it's pretty fun. The one thing that I'm having trouble with it is like the combat. Like they tell when you're facing other like vampire spawn, they tell you need to like stab them through the heart with
You have to
the
impale them. Yeah.
impale them, right? And when you impale them, the the weapon goes with them.
Yeah,
And
you
you
lose the
have to
weapon.
you lose the so
Yeah.
you have to wait until they die, and then you have to go over and you have to pick up the weapon again.
Yeah.
So it makes combat a little bit more strategic, because you're like, all right, killed that vampire, these other two are coming after me, so let me run around a little bit, come back, pick up this weapon, and fight again, right? So
Mhm.
um I honestly, I don't know how much time I'm going to put into that stuff right now. But I am glad I picked it up. It's a nice little
I ended up
collection.
ordering it today, actually.
Nice, good stuff, good
Yeah.
stuff. I
Yeah.
think you'll be happy with it. It's a nice little collection.
Nice.
And then I also started the game that I was waiting for when I started Death Stranding, which is Plague Tale 2, or Plague Tale Requiem.
Yes.
So the just to
So
kind of
happy.
reiterate that story, like I was trying to figure out what to play next after Death Strand, or I'm sorry, before Death Stranding. I can't remember
Mhm.
what I had just beaten out before that, but I was downloading Plague's Tale and saw Death Stranding and said, I'm just going to start this and see what happens. And, obviously got sucked into the story of Death Stranding. So now that I'm done with that, I'm playing Plague's Tale. And now I'm sucked into the story of Plague's Tale, because that's what it is, right? And I'm only on like chapter 4, but man, this game is already far more brutal than the first game.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's I'm surprised. Like, there's one part in chapter 3 where like Amicia just goes off, and like, just she is just wrecking guys with the sling over and over, and like taunting them to come after her. And it was one of those moments that I'm like, why is this happening? Why am I doing this? I don't understand. Holy shit, I'm gonna get killed. And then it's the that all play that the whole, like, the story plays out from there. But yeah, it's much more brutal right from the start. So I'm really interested to see where this goes. I'm at the very beginning of chapter 4, so I'm only like 2-3 hours in.
Yeah.
But it's definitely something that I'm gonna play through, here in the next few weeks. So
It's
uh,
it's one of those good examples of, like, a jump from the first game to the second game in, like, every single way. Like, the visuals, the characters, the voice act, like, everything is just, well, the voice acting has always stayed consistent,
yeah,
but
voice acting has always been
it's
good. So
it's bigger.
um,
It's, like, twice as long,
it's
probably
definitely
more than that.
bigger.
Yeah.
It's less obvious like what direction you have to go.
Yeah.
Like, there's several more open areas. I'll be honest, like, there was one part in chapter
I know exactly what you're talking about.
chapter 2, I think it was.
Is it when you're
And
coming down the big field? It's like a big field kind of, and, like, you kinda
no,
have to. Okay.
no, this was actually in I was trying to get to a tower, and there was
Okay.
this like large open area. There was like, oh God, I want to say there were like 6 guards, and then the
Yeah.
rats showed up too. And I'm just looking around trying to find the best path to get through this,
Mhm.
and just I could not find one without taking out the majority of the guards.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the big thing, because I know for Amicia, she's like, I don't like doing this.
She
Like, this
doesn't
isn't.
wanna kill
She
them.
doesn't
Yeah.
want to kill the guards, but at least until she goes like Super Saiyan in
Until
that
she
one.
wants to kill the guards. Yeah.
She wa- until she realized that the guards want to kill everyone else.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so it's definitely like the air quotes puzzle aspect of it is
Yeah.
definitely bigger. There's been a few times where I'm like, all right, how am I going to get through here?
Yeah.
Um, I am having a little bit of trouble with seeing paths as well, because I know that I think what you were just talking about, there's a part in chapter 3 near the end of chapter 3 where you have to get to a specific door, and there's a torch next to the door, but I couldn't
Mhm.
see it. Like, and I don't know if it was my color blindness or if it was just the way the game was, but I couldn't see it,
Mhm.
and I didn't even know it was there. And I was like, "There's got to," because I was grabbing a stick and trying to walk over there, and I was getting demolished before I got to the door. And I was like,
That's yes.
there's got to be a torch over there or something. So I literally took the sling with the flame and just
Mhm.
kind of aimed in that general direction to see if anything lit up, and something lit up. And that's the only reason I knew
Oh,
something was
okay.
there.
Yeah.
So the I think that's really my only issue with it, is that there's not a clear path of direction.
Yeah.
Um and that's something I'm just going to have to get past. Cuz the
No,
game is so.
that's something. It's only happens in certain areas. Like,
Yeah.
I
The
think
game
it's
is
the
so
area you're talking about
linear.
with
The game is
my
so linear.
issue. Yeah. It's still very linear, but they give you, like, these little open areas, like, I think it might be the same area with the tower or whatnot, but it was an area with a bunch of enemies, and you can kind of go, like, kind of anywhere, and I just kept running into enemies and either dying or killing them. I said, "Fuck this," and I remember just running on the left-hand side and just ran right to basically where it checkpointed and gave me the cutscene or whatever. I'm like, that's what I thought you were gonna talk about, is that part, and
Oh,
it's
okay,
very
okay.
early in the game, so you're definitely past the part I'm talking about.
Okay. It might have been the
It
tower
might have
then,
been,
because
yeah.
yeah,
It's during the day is the part I'm talking about.
this was oh, I
And I
think
think
it
it might
was.
be, like, it might be just after, when everything goes on fire? Or maybe you're not there, maybe it's not chapter 3 or
Yeah,
4,
maybe
maybe it's a
not.
little bit later. Okay, well, then,
Um
yeah, you might be, there's it's definitely very early, but it's a kind of open area and fire happens, yeah, whatever. But yeah, that was a little issue I had with the game as well. You're not alone there.
Gotcha. But yeah, it's still really good. So looking forward to playing more of that.
Sweet.
And I think that's it for me.
Alright.
And
I think that's
nothing
it
else for
though,
you
there's
either?
no jack shit happened in news, and the other stuff I've been playing is just little games here, like, a couple rounds of Street Fighter. I played some CVS2 with Captain Harlock, that Capcom versus SNK2. That's the game both him and I, that's where we met, like, all those years ago on Xbox Live, so, like, 2001, 2002. We met playing Capcom versus SNK2 online, so we're like, "Hey, let's play this." We haven't played, and it's kind of fun just to kinda fuck around and suck at that game against each other. It was fun, though.
All right. Well, with that, I think we'll wrap up and get out of here.
Alright.
Thank you all for listening. Hope you enjoyed the show. And if you did, please tell a few friends about us. Like, subscribe, and comment. All those things help us out a lot. And we certainly do appreciate that. Also, make sure to come by the Discord and enter for our Shadow Labyrinth contest, and just chat about games with us. Really, really enjoy
Yeah,
doing that.
definitely.
And Discord will be in the description, as well as on our link tree, which is interactivedistractions. And that will do it. So until next time, my name is Chris.
And I'm Geoff.
Play your games, and we'll talk to you next week.